Hi everyone, Clay Hamblin here with Cypress Truck Lines and Sunbelt Transport. We're presenting to the CareerTech, you guys down there in the CareerTech class today, and we just wanted to give you some insight on what we have to offer here at Cypress Truck Lines and Sunbelt Transport. Obviously the majority of you students that are beginning your schooling down there are from the Lakeland area, and Cypress Truck Lines, first and foremost, we're a Florida-based company. I'm up here at our terminal in Jacksonville, Florida. We have a terminal in Tampa, Florida, off of Interbay Boulevard down there over by MacDill Air Force Base, and we have several other terminals: Leland, North Carolina, which is close to Wilmington; Atlanta, Georgia. It's actually in Smyrna, Georgia, on the northwest side of Atlanta; South Pitt, Tennessee. And then we actually have another terminal in Abilene, Texas. And I know that for you students who are coming into this industry, there's a lot to digest. There's going to be a lot of options for you all. It's important for us to make sure we get you guys all the information that you need in order to make an educated decision. So it's a little breezy out here today. We're a flatbed carrier. We haul a lot of building material, a lot of sheetrock, lumber, shingles, insulation, steel. But some of the key questions that a lot of people have is obviously regarding home time, pay, benefits, things of that nature. And so again, there's a lot to go through in order to figure out what company is going to be the right fit for you. We're a mid-sized carrier running about 500 trucks company-wide. And the biggest thing that we have to offer, we invest heavily in our recent grads when they come here, and how the onboarding process, starting with the application process. Once you go to the website, fill out the online application, generally takes us 2 to 3 days to process the application for approval. So we're going to look at your MVR, we're going to look at your background, we're going to look at your work history. If we're able to get you approved, then we're going to be able to schedule you to begin orientation. Obviously, that's going to be contingent on you successfully completing the program. But once you decide to schedule, we typically start on Mondays. We will arrange your transportation. We'll get you set up for the hotel. We stay at the Quality Inn up here in Jacksonville. Orientation will be up here in Jacksonville. It's 1 week long. An orientation consists of physical, drug screen, paperwork, instructional videos, and really laying the foundation for your training, your on-the-road training. We pay you $100 a day during orientation. We give you $15 a day for meals. And then on Thursdays and Fridays, that's really where you get out on the yard, go through some basic load securement situations, showing you different types of loads, things of that nature. That way, when you go into your training, you get with your trainer, you're not going into it blind. You're prepared and have an understanding of what to expect. So every recent grad goes through 7 weeks of training, and another big question during that 7 weeks is home time and pay. We pay our recent grads that are in training $500 a week. All of our trainers are experienced drivers, and in order to be a trainer here, you have to be approved through every department: payroll, safety, shop, operations. That way we make sure that all of our students that are in training are getting the benefit and maximizing their skill set for when they finish training and getting their own truck. So as far as the position that you will be going into when you seat in your own truck, being in the Lakeland area, the majority of you are going to be taking your equipment home with you. The main thing is having a safe and secure place to park it. Could be a secure truck stop near you, a secure lot where you have written permission, or for some of you, maybe you have property that you can park truck and trailer. You will start off in a Southeast regional position. Even though we have a lot of different opportunities, for at least your first 6 months, you will be doing Southeast regional, running Florida, Alabama, Georgia, Carolinas, Tennessee, Virginia, That gives all of our recent graduates the opportunity to go home every weekend if they choose to. You don't have to go home on the weekends. You can stay out and run. There's, everybody has a different mentality coming into this industry on, how much home time they need or how much home time they want. So some people don't have an obligation at home and can stay out and make more money. Some people have families or significant others at the house that want you home when you can be home. So it is a nice option to have, to be able to go home every weekend if you choose to. And that first 6 months gives us a chance as a company to evaluate your safety record and your time management. And that allows some other opportunities at that 6-month mark to come into play for you. And what that looks like is, being in Lakeland, we have some short haul opportunities where we consider it a Florida only position, where you just be running in the state of Florida, which allows you to get home 2-3 nights through the week and home on the weekends. So again, more flexibility. If you're a driver that decides they want to go OTR after that 6 months time of being with us, then you can start stretching it out. Most of our freight's East Coast, Midwest, Southwest. We don't do a lot of West Coast freight, but again, we got plenty of long haul opportunities where you can increase your miles. Everybody will be starting at 48 cents a mile loaded, 40 cents empty in the Southeast regional position. If you do commit to not going home every other weekend or going home every weekend, and you decide you're willing to stay out 2 weeks at a time and go home every other weekend, then your pay will be 49 cents a mile loaded and empty. So again, another way to make some extra money right off the bat when you get in your own truck. Our short haul or Florida only positions, what that entails is going to be a mixture of mileage and paid by the load. So you'd be at 40 cents a mile loaded, 30 cents on the empty side, but a lot of your loads again are paid by the load. Most of our Florida only drivers are going to make somewhere between $800 to $1,000 a week. So still good pay to be home some through the week and home on the weekends. I'm going to see if Kevin over here, just while I got him here, Kevin, he's one of our trainers. He's a Sunbelt driver. Cypress and Sunbelt are just divisions of each other. The only difference is really the color of the truck. We're doing a live presentation here to the CareerTech students down in Lakeland, Florida. Which one's your new truck?
Mine's back there.
All right.
25030.
So Kevin, he's one of our trainers. He's been with Sunbelt for quite a few years. He's an excellent trainer for us. Does a great job. Cypress and Sunbelt just got new Pete's for all the trainers or Kenworth. You got a Pete, right?
I got a Pete.
So Kevin got a Pete's condo sleepers. Is your truck unlocked? Can we go over there and take a look at it? One of these are?
This Kenworth's unlocked though.
Is it?
Yep.
Let's go take a look at this KW. So basically all these, come on over here, Kevin. I'm going to have you say some things. You don't mind speaking a little bit, do you?
Yeah. Freightliner's unlocked.
Yeah, so.
No, this Freightliner's unlocked.
The Freightliner's unlocked?
None of these condos are unlocked though.
But anyways, these new trucks, this is a Kenworth T680. And these are the trucks that you'll be training in. It's either going to be a Pete or a Kenworth, or it could be a Freightliner, but they're the condos, so you have an excellent training experience. They are automatics. I know at CareerTech you're training in a manual, and most likely the truck that you'll be seated in will be a manual 10-speed. But Kevin, do you have anything to say from a training experience of what these students could expect, from a flatbed standpoint or training standpoint?
Flatbed standpoint, just if you're going to go with flatbed, it's going to be a little bit more labor involved in it. But otherwise, most of our trainers are all real good at what they do. They know the easy way to do it. They know the shortcuts on how to do things to make the job a little bit easier, but still make it safe. Otherwise, in these new trucks, they are definitely going to be nice. They're the Kenworth 76-inch sleepers. The Peterbilts are 80-inch sleepers, so they're massive trucks, hang chandeliers in them.
Where's your hometown at, Kevin?
I'm out of Vero Beach.
He's out of Vero Beach, and do you go home every weekend or you stay out?
I go home every weekend. I might run a weekend out. very, very rare occasion.
Right. So a big question is, what's my weekend look like? You know, I guess a misconception on when people say weekends home. You know, I know there's some other carriers out there that offer that, but for us, we want to make sure that you understand what a weekend looks like. And as far as your weekend, and how does it?
Weekend home is my truck's normally parked Friday before noon, and I'm at the house until Sunday afternoon, depending on exactly what I got to do. But 9 times out of 10 for me, I'm not leaving until Sunday at 3 o'clock, shoot up Palaca, do a quick load. And the way I run, I get a lot more home time than a lot of drivers, but it's just because the way I prefer to operate, and Sunbelt and Cypress have been real good about letting me kind of, you know, play my own game here and still make really good money here.
Right. Yeah, and that is one other thing that I want to address is that, you know, this is a job. It's not a vacation. I say this a lot. I think the industry kind of does a bad job of adding a little bit more color to it. It's not just driving a truck. There's a lot more to it as far as your trip planning, time management, dealing with customers. There's a lot that goes into it for you to be successful. And so with that being said, you know, there is a learning curve. When you get in your own truck, you got to crawl before you walk. There's no doubt. Somebody like Kevin, who's paid his dues, put in his time, shown his commitment, like a lot of our veterans here, they get taken care of well. And I mean, our new graduates do too, but you know, there's still an evaluation process. You got to prove yourself from a safety standpoint. You got to make sure that you communicate well, and you got to make sure that you manage your time well. I mean, that's the bottom line. And if you do those things, then inevitably you're going to be successful here.
And again, like I said, if you want to be home on the weekends, you're going to get home on the weekends. It's just up to you and how you operate your week on when you get to be home. Like I said, I found that out the hard when I first started, and not getting home till late Saturday just because I didn't operate my time clock right. And then I would communicate with my trainer, because I was also trained here on how to operate things, and he was great with telling me, you know, well, man, you got to do this, and you got to do this, and you got to do this, and you know, do it this way. And like I said, a lot of our trainers are really good at what they do here. I mean, they're all great, and they're all going to communicate with you and tell you, you know, I am with all the guys I train, it's how much you want to make, how often you want to be home, and what do you want to do. And they'll tell me what they want, and I can form them a plan. I still got guys that I trained a year ago that call me daily and say, what would you do with this load? And I'll tell them, I'll lay out their day for them. If that's what they need my help with, I'll give them, this is what I do, this is what you can do, and this is what I wouldn't do. And I'll give them 3 options to run with. And they normally, Justin Smith, I think you know who that is.
Absolutely.
He just over a year he's been here since I trained him. He's home every Friday before noon, like me. And he'll call me. He's called me twice today.
That's
crazy.
crazy.
What do you think I can do with this? And I'll tell him, listen, this is what I do.
Sure.
And he'll be sitting, you know, wherever I tell him to go, that's where he's going to be every time he talks to me. Yeah, I made it here. Good, bud. You know, and he's home by Friday.
Yeah.
And pulls out of here. He lives here locally in Jacksonville.
Sure.
Pulls out of here Sunday either way, picks his load up off the yard, and goes to his customer and sleeps there Sunday night. And he runs real hard, though. He runs really hard.
Yeah, and that's one of the big things is he's talking about running hard. You know, he means the difference between somebody taking a 14-hour break and somebody taking their 10 break every time through the week. When you're out there to run, you're out there managing your time.
14.
That's
take a 10, work your 14. You know, you run hard, and you get to enjoy your life more. You want to sit around in truck stops and do that, that's up to you, but I don't operate that way because I prefer to be at the house. Right,
and you'll be the low person on the totem pole, you know, there. And so, again, proving yourself, creating a good reputation for yourself is crucial because, again, you know, things don't go unnoticed here. It's an open door policy. The drivers know the owners of the company, work with their dispatcher hand in hand, work with the recruiting. That's why I said all the departments interact with all the drivers. It's not like it's the drivers and the office people. I mean, we all are co-workers here, and it takes everybody communicating well to make sure we're all successful. So
it is a great company in that fashion, like you said. Everybody works together, and I can go talk to my manager, my driver manager, and Clay's right next door. I can pop over and talk to him, say hi, how's it going? And then the owners are right behind him. You know, I mean, everybody is right in the same area, and it's a very open door policy here where you can just go pop into an office and talk to somebody if you need to talk. You got to hash something out, or you just want to go say, hey, shake their hand. I mean, 9 times out of 10, Dad's driving around out here in the golf cart. And, you know, you wave at him on the way by, and he'll wave at you, or he might stop and talk to you if he ain't running crazy.
It is crazy.
It's a great company in that sense that it is family operated, and I've never not felt like it wasn't a family company because of just how open they are around here.
Right. And the other thing too, I guess speaking of that, how long have you been here, Kevin?
Coming on 5 years now.
5 years, and you don't mind me speaking about your time where you left and come back?
No, not at all.
So here's what happens.
I tell everybody that.
So we run into this a lot. Sometimes it's for the better, but you know, when you come out and you make your decision, whether it's to come drive for Cypress and Sunbelt, or whether you choose another carrier, there's so much marketing, so much advertising. You're going to be talking to so many drivers out there on the road. Inevitably, it's hard not to wonder what's on the other side of the fence. And I can promise you that the grass ain't always greener on the other side of the fence in most cases. And the reason why I say that is because one of our biggest pool of hires is our rehires, drivers who have, you know, taken another opportunity and then quickly come back. And Kevin did that.
I've done it twice.
About a year ago, right?
Yeah, I left, went to drive with FedEx Custom Critical with some family, and don't mix family with business. That didn't work out very well. And then, unless it's this place.
Yeah.
But
the family thing,
yeah.
If you went to another company, don't say the name. So.
Yeah, but I went to a different company, and that was family operated. We just pulled one of their trailers.
Right.
Then I went to another company that was home daily, like murdered myself to working with them, and it just, you know, the money wasn't great. I was working 10 times harder, and I promise you, I put in applications at other companies, and a lot of people called me because I have a good resume. I look good on paper, and you know, they would call me and they'd be like, "This is what we got to offer." That ain't gonna work, you know. So I ended up came back to Cypress for the third time. Last time, and I'm here for the third time, and you know, and like I said, every time I come back here, it is always I know exactly what I'm gonna get if I work a certain way, and they provide for me every time, you know. And like Clay said, this is not a seniority company. This is a work hard, get rewarded kind of company. It doesn't matter how long you've been here. I've had newer trucks than guys that have been here for 20 years just because I work hard. You know, I've driven multiple brand new trucks, and they just, you know, like I said, they will take care of you if you take care of them. It's a, you know, give and take system here.
And this is a very independent job, being a driver. And to be honest with you, you know, the equipment's come a long way. There's a lot more things that are on the trucks, and you know, the industry's changed a lot. But the bottom line is, it's a very independent job, and there's so much that relies on you for your overall success. And everybody's coming into this industry. You're in school because I guess for the 99% of you, you're wanting to. Let me bring this down a little bit. You're wanting to, you know, advance yourself financially, and this industry offers that. And again, there's a lot of good companies out there, but there's also some companies that you know, don't take care of drivers as well. And I'm not one to bash companies at all. I just want to make sure that you as students understand to do your research, do your homework. That way you can make the best possible decision for yourself, because again, every person is different. Flatbedding isn't for everybody, but again, for what we do, the majority of our loads are preload or pre-tarped. It's a lot of drop and hook. The majority of the physical aspect of what we do is when you get to a customer, pulling the tarps, rolling them, folding, putting them on the trailer. There might be times where you live load naturally, but few and far between.
Few and far between. I can't remember the last time I live loaded anything. It's normally I pick up my loaded trailer, strap it down, and go. But everything is almost always live unloaded.
And that's the big part of training. You have to know load securement. You have to know how to secure loads, because you'll pick up a preloaded trailer where you might have to throw a couple extra straps, or going to have to tighten up the load. So knowing the material, knowing the load, knowing how it's secured properly, because ultimately when you pick that up, you're responsible for it. So, you know, a good inspection of that load, and making sure that it's ready to go. That's why that 7 weeks of training is so crucial. Also, you know, as far as preparation goes on a load, you got to make sure that you're knowledgeable, because it could be the difference between an hour and a half and 45 minutes in prepping a load. And if you get really good at load securement, you know, you're going to be able to manage your time well. You're going to get more miles. Dispatch is going to be, you know, more consistent with how how you perceive the way you manage yourself. Once they get used to how you run, it's going to help them execute your loads better.
Yeah, and that is huge. Where they will, like, I my managers know exactly how I operate and how I like to operate, and they mold my week around it because they know what I can and can't do just because of how I operate.
Absolutely.
And they do that with a lot of the drivers. You know, they know how drivers like to operate. Once you set a pattern for them, they're gonna get in that pattern with you, and they're gonna know exactly, I'm gonna give him this, and then I'm gonna give him this, and I'm gonna give him this, because this is how he's gonna operate, and that's gonna make the driver happy. And they are always about our happiness. They take care of us here. Really, they do.
All right. Well, Kevin, I appreciate you taking the time to speak to the students down there at CareerTech.
Yes, sir.
We're going to run over here, show you all some loads. I got Richard over here. What's up, brother? Richard's been with us for a couple years, and he has been a flatbedder his whole career, former military, Air Force, right?
Yes, sir.
And me and Richard are pretty close. We work together hand in hand, and now he does his full-time job here at the Jack's Yard, but he's been a super hard worker. He's very knowledgeable and kind of a jack of all trades, but we're gonna have him show us some of these different types of loads. That way you can see what flatbedding, or I guess get a little bit of insight on what flatbedding entails. So let's go over here and take a look at what we got.
We actually got a good one right to start, one of these USG loads. This comes out of the plant just across the street, but it's one of those, it's preloaded. You come to the yard, you tighten it down, but there's varieties, like Clay said, you want to inspect your load before you get it. Because this load is drywall, but it's got a mixture of buckets on the front of the trailer. So you want to come up and pull your tarps up a little bit, make sure what it is underneath this. And like Clay said, if you need extra straps. You don't want to tighten drywall down too much, you'll actually crack it and damage the load.
And if you can look up here, there's corner protectors on there. That's probably one of the biggest things. You might get a load that doesn't have the corner protectors on there, and so you'll have like this PVC pipe, and you'll see that, where you can just, the strap will be loose, or semi-tight I should say, and you'll move that corner protector up in there on every single strap, and those corner protectors are so you don't damage the sheetrock.
Yeah, what it does is it distributes the weight of the strap, the pressure from that. So when you're gonna get this load, this typical type of load, it's not gonna have really many bungees on it either, so you're gonna wanna bungee it down, make sure the flap doesn't flap in the wind or the tarps don't. Because after so long, yeah, these tarps are actually really durable, but with so much wind making a move can actually damage the tarp material, and these tarps are not cheap. This is what I want to kind of get at, is the buckets right here. This is 5-gallon buckets of drywall mud. And you notice it's got the board across the top. It's the same as an edge protector, but it's a V-board. It's longer. It distributes the weight from the strap down and actually, evens it out across the top, and you don't damage the pallet of buckets when it doesn't. All right. And with this one, he's also got a Ford strap, X strap on the front to keep that load of buckets from actually moving forward on the trailer. If you actually go to the trailer next to it, you'll see a load of USG that actually isn't secured all the way, but they brought it over. So when you would get that, you'd have to, put your edge protectors, bungee it, and tighten your straps down all the way.
You hear this noise? I'm just going to say this because it's loud right now. This is your APU right here, and that's where you don't have to idle your truck and still have power in the truck. So you'll learn more about that. And then what we'll do, we'll show them how we roll, the roll tarps and things like that. But anyways,
another load that Cypress hauls a lot of is we got back here. It's actually rolls of paper. They actually use it for the drywall, the outer layers of drywall. This one's a trickier load because it's actually round. It's got chocks underneath it to keep the rolls from moving, but you have to secure it correctly. These are 2 straps a piece, and then you've got the straps on the front and back on the tarp. One of these loads you have to be careful driving with. Because it shifts the weight.
They don't let them haul rolled paper until
6 months.
6 months. You got to be here 6 months before you're allowed to haul paper. And then we got the shingles.
Yeah, we got loads of. This is what I call the flatbedder's bread and butter. It's when you get a load of shingles, because you don't have to tarp it. You just strap down, put edge protectors on it. Two straps on the front, back. 2 straps on the back. 1 strap on each pack in between, and roll with it.
So, with that being said, again, we're just showing you this because you got different options. I mean, you know, you got dry van, you got reefer, not with us, but I'm saying in general, as a student, you're gonna have to decide, you know, what you want to get into off the bat. A lot of people like to come here because there's a little bit more of a physical element to it. You're not just driving, you're staying active, but the benefits, you know, home time, pay, not waiting on loads is typically the benefits of being a flatbed driver.
The benefits of being a Cypress flatbed driver, because I came from actually another company that was flatbed, and man, here it's so much nicer. You know, I'd roll into, you know, our shippers and our loads are already, you know, almost ready. All I got to do is throw some edge protectors on it, tighten the straps, you know, maybe throw 1 or 2 more straps and then go. When I was with my other company, man, I'd have to wait 2, 3, 4. I've waited up to 11 hours to get loaded. You know, here it got to the point where I was in and out of shippers within 45, 50 minutes.
And a big reason of why that is the way it is because Cypress has an extremely strong customer base. They very rarely do broker freight, so there's a lot of consistency in your runs. Once you've been here a little bit of time, there's not too much that you haven't seen. It helps you manage your time well. You know what to expect. Hey, I'm going here. I know what to do, and if I'm going here, I'm probably going to be dispatched here. So, you know, you really get to plan accordingly. There's going to be things, inherent challenges that you're going to go through that just comes with being a driver. There's no question. And again, we don't want to say it's not challenging. No matter where you go, it's going to be challenging. But again, flatbed, reefer, tanker, dry van, heavy haul. There's car haulers. You know, there's a lot of different aspects to consider when you're coming to a driver. But the one thing that I will say, as a recent grad, make sure you get with a company, you know, even if it's not Cypress or Sunbelt, that's willing to invest the time, willing to invest the money into getting you where you need to be safe first and foremost, because you're investing a lot of your own time, a lot of your own finances to get your Class A CDL. You got to protect that. And going through school, the main thing that school is doing for you is getting your Class A CDL. Now, they'll give you some other information to help prepare you in this industry, but your main focus right now is to get that Class A, and then getting with a company who's going to train you properly, invest that time. That way, when you get in your own truck, you're going to be safe, and you can have a good long career, because it doesn't take but 1 or 2 mistakes where companies won't be able to hire you. So make sure you put safety first in everything that you do. Make sure you have the mentality to take things in stride, you know, crawl before you walk, like I said earlier. And the financial aspect will take care of itself. So, I mean, do we have anything else to touch on for now?
No, not really, man. We'll come out and do the tarp videos.
Yeah, we'll get some more videos. I know this is your first week down there at CareerTech, so we'll do some more videos towards the end of the week to touch on. But if you have any questions, benefits go into effect after 90 days, 6 paid holidays, earning up to 2 weeks vacation time, 401k after 6 months, match 50% up to 6% of your earnings. But again, if you need more details about anything that we didn't touch on, call recruiting, 800-545-1351. Also on the CareerTech app, go over to the Cypress page. You'll see the category page in the 3rd tab, and you'll get some additional information there. But we hope to be able to work with anybody who's interested in coming here, and obviously we want to give you all as much information as possible. That way you can you know, figure out what's going to be the best fit for you. So we appreciate everybody tuning in. Rich, thanks for taking the time, buddy.
No problem.
We'll see you guys soon here in a few weeks.